We love you.
Know in your heart that you are loved.
We bless you.
And you are a blessing to this world.
We appreciate you.
You are an individualized expression of God.
We behold the Christ as you.
The kingdom of heaven is all around you and within you. We look forward to the time when we will be together again.
Good morning, my lovelies. It is delightful to be here with you this morning on this beautiful, beautiful day. Welcome to Unity Center for Spiritual Growth. I'm Reverend Pat Bessie. I'm the lead minister here. And thank you for giving us your time this morning to be here with us. I'm seeing many of you already greeting one another in the chat box, which is wonderful. And if you are with us today for the very first time, please put your name in the chat box and tell us where you're coming to us from, because we would like to welcome you. And this is how we do it at this time. So very grateful that you're with us. I'm seeing here Carol Holt, Dawn Labby, Carolyn, Cynthia, Elizabeth from New Hampshire. Hello, Sally from Rockland. So many of you with us this morning, and for that I am grateful. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dina as she opens us with our song.
Good morning, all. Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love.
This is a house built on love, and so let us take a moment and let the love that we are just flow out. And as I mentioned, it is an absolutely beautiful day here in Maine, and spring is springing, trees are blooming, life is happening. And that is what we are here to do today, is to spring into life. To let life take us into those places that we may have forgotten, those places where passion lives within us. And we let that love that we are spread out all over this country, all over this world, going to places where it is needed. We know that right now there are places where warring is happening and we see peace. There are places where people are hurting and we see help and love. There are places where people are physically ill and we see wholeness. and love. For love is the healing balm. And love is what we are. Therefore, there is never a lack of it. And there is never a time when it is not being called for. So let the love that you are just spread everywhere you go today. If you're out and about, if you're out in nature, just look around and see the love that God is giving to us in the beauty all around us, in the animals that run in front of us, the chipmunk that runs across my driveway, the squirrels that walk across the street. Everything here has its place in our ecological system, just as we do. And so for that and so much more, let your heart be filled with gratitude as we come together today and worship and celebrate life. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And wow, it is a wonderful day to be alive. Grateful to be walking this earth today. And so now I'm going to invite us to share together our invocation, our vision, mission, and core values. And there they are. So I'm inviting you to say them together with me. Our invocation is, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. That one presence, that one power, always operating, that is love. Our vision statement, again, brings us right back to love. Centered in divine love, we celebrate a spiritually transformed world. When we see love leading everything that we do, we will see that spiritually transformed world. And our mission statement supports our vision, and that is Unity Center for Spiritual Growth reaches in to reach out through education, service, and creation of community. We take the guidance that we're given and we apply it where we're being called. And we have core values that we live by, and they are, we are loving. Very first core value, love. We are accepting. We accept all people. We accept all creatures. We are authentic. We live from our deepest authentic selves. We are transformative. We transform as we go deeper into our own journey. We are soul-centric. Our soul nature is soul-centric. We are compassionate. We hold everybody close. And we see the goodness in all. And we are welcoming. And that is the truth about us. And so we turn it now back over to Dina as she gives us our community song.
The group song this morning is All That Comes. All that comes to me will be a gift to me. What a gift to me. All that comes to me will be a gift to me. Such a gift to me. Every moment, every day, I feel the power each and every time I say that every person, everything that comes my way can make me stronger and more loving in some way. Oh, come to me will bring a teaching for me. What a teaching for me. Oh, come to me will bring a teaching for me. What a teaching for me. Every moment, each and every time I say that every person, everything that comes my way can make me stronger and more loving in some way. All that comes to me will be a blessing to me. What a blessing to me. All that comes to me will be a blessing to me. Such a blessing to me. Every moment, every day, I feel the power each and every time I say that every person, everything that comes my way can make me stronger and more loving in some way. All that comes to me will be a blessing to me. What a blessing to me. What a blessing to me. What a blessing to me.
Thank you, Dina. I think my neighbors probably could hear me as I was belting out that song. I love that. Thank you. And I'm seeing more people in the chat box. I'm seeing Mary Beth and Cindy O'Connell. Randy, good to hear from you. Jackie over in Brunswick. Betty Gates. Pat Barkey. Michelle. Kathy from North Carolina. Sandy. Hello, Sandy from up in Spruce Harbor. You're coming to it, Mary and Marie. Are you still in Arizona, honey? It's hard keeping up with you. Well, welcome again to everybody. And now is the time in the service that I share with you our 5 basic principles. And these are, and I tell you every single week, these are your spiritual tools. They belong in your spiritual toolbox. It's like the first aid for your spiritual work. And the first one is that God is good and everywhere present. And you know, we can change God to love. Love is good and everywhere present. They're synonymous. And the second one is that the spirit of love lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. The spirit of love, the spirit of God lives within each person, and everybody is inherently good. That is the truth of their being. The third one is that we create our life experiences through our way of thinking. And this is a most important one. This is the one where we have to remember that our thoughts are creative when we hold them and impress them with our feelings. So making sure that you are holding and impressing the thoughts that you want to see in your world. And the fourth one is the important one that undermines all of these. And there is power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our connection to God, increases our connection to love. When we are in prayer, and remembering, friends, prayer is not about changing God's mind. It's about changing your mind for you to see it differently, for you to see from the wholeness, from God's eyes. And then, of course, the fifth one and the most important one is that knowledge of these spiritual tools or principles is not enough. We must live them. We must put them into action. And you will have countless opportunities this coming week, I can guarantee you, because that's what life gives. Life gives us speed bumps, and we need these spiritual tools. So keep them close and know that they're always available to you. And now is the time that we have our daily word. And our daily word reader today is no stranger to any of us. It is Barbara Kowalska. And she's doing double duty this morning. She's not only doing a daily word, but she is also holding space with Jana Brownlee. The two of them, as prayer partners, hold space for us today. And Barbara, you all know from her Monday, Wednesday, and Friday midday faith lift. So good morning, Barbara.
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to share the daily word this morning, and that word is strength. And the affirmation is, divine strength invigorates my body and quickens my mind. If I feel my energy waning during a time of vigorous physical or mental activity, if my get up and go is got up and gone, I remember these inspiring words from The Prayer of Faith by Hannah Moore Cohouse. God is my strength, unfailing, quick. The strength of God is my strength, and it's more than sufficient to meet my every need. More than toughness or forcefulness, spiritual strength is quiet fortitude, rootedness in the inexhaustible wellspring of the divine. Today, I release all thought of weakness or impossibility. I release all thought of weakness or impossibility. I feel the power of divine strength flowing through me, invigorating my body and bringing renewed clarity to my thoughts. The strength of God is my strength. And from 1 Corinthians 1:25, for God's foolishness is wiser than humans' wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength. Again, the daily word is strength. Divine strength invigorates my body and quickens my mind.
Thank you. That was lovely, Barbara. Now we'll hear from Dina.
Thank you, Pat. To open up Pat's talk this morning, this is a song by Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. I am unwritten, can't read my mind. I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you could almost taste it. Release your inner vision, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you could almost taste it. Release your inner vision, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you could almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
Michael Phelps is one of the fastest swimmers in the world.
None of us had normal childhoods.
I want to win.
I knew it was the biggest stage that I would perform for in my life.
For Olympians, that's what defines you.
Athletes work their entire lives for this moment.
I wanted to do everything I could to be the best skater I could.
Everything revolves around this sole focus, and that sole focus is the Olympics. And now the next 40 seconds will dictate our human lives.
But after the Olympics, the village doors close, and that's kind of it.
Win or lose, I felt a dramatic emptiness.
We're just so lost. A good 80%, maybe more, go through some kind of post-Olympic depression.
It's gold, and then what?
I didn't develop outside interests.
I thought of myself as just a swimmer and not a human being. That's where I was just like, why don't I just end it all?
From the outside, it's like you got everything.
Athletes just don't talk about our weaknesses.
That just cracks the facade.
The mainstream media love building somebody up and then come crashing down.
Depression puts you into a spiral. You start getting deeper and deeper into it.
He was my best friend.
We have to do something. And this is important.
Youth around the world watch and look up to these people. I've given my blood, sweat, and tears. And all I'm asking is that someone can help me get through this.
We're human. I don't think I have to say anything else.
Wow, that's a powerful video. The Weight of Gold. Shows a side that we probably don't even realize exists, because Olympic athletes are known for their strength, their speed, their discipline, and their determination. In society, you and I view medal winners to be our heroes and heroines. And businesses see them in terms of dollar signs as they promote their brand. So very rarely do we hear about an Olympian's pain and suffering. I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about it all week, and thinking about how much I love the Olympics and how much their stories that they do in between events and stuff, of personal stories about them. But they never really reveal that true part of them. In the HBO documentary, The Weight of Gold, the Olympians share the mental and emotional weight of being a winner, of being the best, of having no social life, always focused, up early in the morning, off to the rink or off to wherever they were doing their practicing. Always trying to please sponsors and fans, and being built up and then beat down by the media. I had personal experience with this. My son was a race car driver. He drove on the NASCAR scene. And I remember the highs and the lows of that experience. I remember the need to make sure that the sponsors were satisfied, the need to do everything perfectly. That's a heavy weight. So The Weight of Gold is a great title for that. And then, when Olympians or race car drivers' careers and dreams come to an end, 80% experience depression, emptiness, loneliness, crisis in identity. They don't know themselves by anything else than a swimmer, a skater, a race car driver. They have had no time to develop anything else in their life. Robert Brummett in Living Originally, which is the book that I'm taking these messages from, reminds us that a crisis in identity is a spiritual crisis that arises when living from our personality selves, our social facade, causes us to abandon our authentic selves, our divine nature. When we are living just to make sure that we're pleasing the people around us, and it doesn't need to be sponsors, it can be parents, it can be spouses, but when we are living from what society expects from us, we have or could have abandoned our authentic selves, our divine nature. In that clip that we just saw, Apollo Ono, speed skater, shared that the sole focus of the athletes was on performing in the Olympics. They ate, slept, thought only of the Olympics. I would say that they are now being called to move from soul, and I'm talking about soul, S-O-L-E focus, soul focus on what they're doing, to soul, S-O-U-L focus. They're now being called to listen and uncover the inner stirrings of their souls. I read a couple of days ago where Kristi Yamaguchi, gold medal winner in 1992 in figure skating, I remember that so well, that she found that inner stirring and she went out and established the Always Dream Foundation for Children. And she was inspired by Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I know that others have done the same. But it took them from moving from soul, their soul focus, to soul stirrings and findings. This sixth spiritual practice that we're going to be talking about today, that's presented in a Living Originally, is everything is my teacher. Everything is my teacher. And this is the definition that Robert gives. My experience with every person, place, object, event, and circumstance in my life is a potential teacher if I am open to the learning that is eventually revealed from within. Every experience is my potential teacher if I'm open to the learning. So, before we learn about this practice of everything is my teacher, I invite us to come to it by emptying an already full cup. I'm inviting you to come to it with an open mind and an empty cup. A professor went to see the Zen master to learn about Zen. However, he began by telling him all that he knew about Asian history, about Asian religion, about Asian culture, but he wanted to learn about Zen to add to his knowledge. You might know this story, but it's a great one to illustrate about emptying. The master began pouring tea, and it ran out of the cup, into the saucer, out of the saucer, and down onto the floor. And the professor was shocked. And the Zen master then told him, like this cup, he was full of his presumed knowledge, and he could not show him Zen unless he first emptied his cup. Unless he first emptied his cup. So in this practice, we find two learnings to help us with that. First is a conventional, and then the deep. So I'm going to start with a conventional learning. In accordance with what is generally done or believed is what the conventional learning is about. What is generally done or believed. It is a standard of learning that is shared by members of a society. So when we talk about societal, living up to societal ideals, it's what we as a society have agreed as being shared. It's also about our skill set, which is exactly what the Olympians were faced with in this conventional learning. Their skill set was what prompted them to fame. And it was again about accruing intelligent knowledge, accruing more information. And it was about discipline. It was about discipline, especially for the Olympians and anybody that is practicing to get better at something. Acquired skills and knowledge supports individuals. It might be that we're wanting to learn to speak a foreign language. It might be that we want to learn to play an instrument or make scientific discoveries. This is where conventional learning is important. Olympian skaters lean into a turn with agility, balance, and speed. Conventional learning extends my knowledge and skills. However, it does not deepen me, nor does it deepen you or anybody else. These are all learned skills. It may make us smarter. It may make us know more. And we're grateful for that. We're grateful for that because just look at what has happened in these new vaccines that have come out. People that were dedicated, just as the Olympians were, to something that was important. What we aspire to is freedom to navigate the physical world with more opportunity, more freedom, and more enjoyment. That would be what I would say is what I'm looking for always. This occurs when we allow the personality ego to be in service to our higher self. So what that's saying is, as the master teacher, Jesus states, to be in this world but not of it. In order for that to occur, we must engage a second kind of learning. When I am willing to let my ego be under the direction of the Christ, is where that deeper learning occurs. It occurs within our hearts, our souls, and our minds. Wisdom that arises from within, from our experiences with people and the circumstances of our life. Many of you know I just had a birthday this week. And I was saying to somebody recently, I love that I'm older because with age comes wisdom. And knowing that that wisdom arises from within, from the experiences that I have had with people and circumstances in my life. Learning of something we did not know and did not know that we didn't know. Learning of something we did not know and did not know we didn't know. That's what true learning is. And that's what brings us home to our divine essence. That's what transforms us from the inside out. In order for this transformation to occur, I want to shift around a word. I want us to look at the word ego, E-G-O, and turn it to O-E-G. O standing for open. When I'm open, I'm willing to be teachable. I'm willing to have a beginner's mind. When I'm open, I know nothing. I surrender to the mystery. When I'm open, I am present to my feelings, my sensations, my body, my thoughts. Those are all the ways that being open facilitates me to take that deeper dive. The E stands for empty. Relinquish resistance. Remember the old saying, that which we resist persists. Let go of resisting. Let go of analyzing. Let go of attachments. And that's what Jesus means when he says to be in this world but not of it. Not be attached to it. To relinquish and empty avoidance. To empty of all criticism and condemnation. When you start to hear something come up that's going to be a criticism, stop. Not going to go there. Empty any projections that you may be wanting to put on other people. Empty from trying to prove yourself. You don't have to be right. And empty from rationalization. When we are wanting to be right, we're also rationalizing our point of view. So open, empty, and the G stands for guided. Allow wisdom from within to arise and guide you. We cannot let that happen if we aren't empty and if we're not open. The athletes that were highlighted in that documentary trailer were ready to allow their experience of becoming the Olympian medalist to move them from conventional learning to deep learning. Michael Phelps did not know the pain and suffering that he endured in the journey of winning 23 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals. He did not know that that would lead him to his current day experience of being a mental health ambassador. He was on the brink of suicide, of taking his own life. Read his story. It's an amazing one. So I'm not suggesting that we look at our own lives as Michael Phelps's life, but how often has this happened to us in our lives? How often have we been moved from suffering? That suffering has been the catalyst to move us into something else. We often have this, we often need to realize that when we resist and condemn people or circumstances in our lives, that's the key. However, if we don't, the pain and the suffering will get to us. We become willing to look within to do the deep dive. We become home to our authentic selves. And when we least expect it, wisdom arises, and we are empowered from the inside out. We allow the wise one within, the I am, to be the guiding light in what we do. I'm going to get a little personal here again. After my second marriage was dissolving, was when I started my search for that deeper dive. And the reason that I started that search for my deeper dive was because I realized that I was the constant in both relationships. I was the one that was in both of those relationships, and yet it ended in the same way. And that was my wake-up call. So when the pain gets grand enough and suffering becomes your constant companion, as I did, I realized something needed to change. Nothing changes until something changes. It was at that time that I started going to Al-Anon, because both relationships had alcohol involved in it. Also, it was at that time I started going to Adult Children of Alcoholics meetings, because I could see the pattern. It wasn't until quite a while later that I actually entered AA. But all of them were the catalysts that got me to do the deeper dive. So if any of you right now are in that place of pain and suffering, there is a way out. I can guarantee it. There is a way out. Robert Brummett writes, "Life is our greatest teacher. Perhaps this is the reason we exist in physical form, to learn by experiencing life as it is." But when identified with the ego, we are not open to learning. We are more invested in promoting and protecting our personal beliefs and opinions. The ego is not open to truth. It wants to see and hear only that which protects and supports itself. End of quote. So I'm inviting you into this practice of allowing everything to be your teacher. This is not about gaining more knowledge, but gaining more wisdom. So the general practice I'm going to give you this morning is meeting each life experience with an underlying attitude of this experience is my teacher. And so affirm throughout your day, everything is my teacher. When you feel yourself being triggered by an interaction with someone or an event and fear, judgment, anger, and resistance arises, affirm, everything is my teacher. Become radically self-aware. Principle number 1. Note the resistance that may arise. Breathe and be gentle. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, breathe and bring your mind back home. Bring your mind back home to where it is safe. So remembering throughout the day, everything is my teacher. And now there's a more formal practice that you can do as well. Create in your day a designated time to contemplate everything as my teacher. Select a person or experience you might be struggling with. It may be something that just came up within your day. Become still and go within. And use OEG, open, empty, guided, as your mantra. I'm open, I'm empty, and I'm being guided. Open, I'm willing to be teachable. Of my human ego mind, I cannot see clearly. I am not my feelings, my thoughts, my sensations. Empty. Relinquish my energy form of blame, criticism, projections, and meaning that I assign to things, proving I'm right, and reaching and lashing out. I empty myself of all of that. And then I'm guided. I go within to be present to what is. Now, some of you are journal people. You love to journal, and I love that about you. And so here are some facts that you might want to journal about. What wisdom do your feelings reveal? What do you have to say to me? What do you want from me? What gifts do you offer me? Who am I willing to be through this? That's a critical question. Who am I willing to be through this? Am I willing to be my highest self? Or am I willing to be what society wants for me? Now, more than ever, we have to become spiritually disciplined in how we live our lives. If we want to awaken and be transformed from the inside out, we must let everything be our teacher. This is the only way, individually and collectively, can we ascend from pain and suffering. So not only individually is this important, but as a community, it's important too, for us to be open, empty, and guided. And I want to close with the words of Jackson Kiddard. Anything that annoys you is for teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is for teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is for teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is for teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is for teaching you courage to overcome your fear. Anything you can't control is for teaching you how to let go and trust the universe. God bless you, and now let us prepare for meditation.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart, I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open
And so I invite you to take a few breaths at your own rate, getting comfortable. Closing your eyes if that is comfortable for you. Remembering Thich Nhat Hanh, breathing brings your mind back home. So just breathe into that. And I'm going to share once again the last line from Jackson Kiddard's poem, and then invite you to just sit with that. Anything you can't control is for teaching you how to let go and trust the universe. So my question for you is, as you sit in the silence, do you trust the universe? We sit in conscious, compassionate awareness, remembering that compassion for ourselves is the beginning of compassion for all. And so it is. Amen.
The offering song today is Karen Drucker song, Morning Prayer. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My heart is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instinct and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. I am more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
Thank you so much, Gina. That was absolutely beautiful. I want to share a few things. Christina's been so busy here putting everything in the chat box, but I want to say it out loud. Today, our prayer partners, both Barbara and Jana, are willing and able to be available for prayer, concluding the service. And their links to the Zoom are in the chat box. Also, coffee hour will be happening, concluding the service, and that's in the chat box. A Course in Miracles today at noon with Matt. Our Justice and Equality Vigil at 12:15 at the Rotary 202 and 302 happens every Sunday now. This coming Tuesday morning, we'll begin our new book group with the book from Mark Nepo, More Together Than Alone. It's a wonderful book. We're still taking opportunities for people to join. You can register for the link at on our Heart Thoughts page and on our website. Also, Unity from the Inside Out is happening starting Wednesday evening, and that's 5 weeks, and it's looking at deeper metaphysical meanings and ideas about what we think about God, humanity, prayer, everything. It's a wonderful opportunity to come and share views and listen to and hear what our early New Thought leaders thought. And that starts at 6:30 to 8, and you can register for that also in either Heart Thought or our webpage. Thursday evening, our spiritual exploration group meets. Welcome to join us at 7 o'clock. We look at the issues that are happening right now in our world around Black Lives Matter, around racial justice. All of that is up for conversation. The men's group this week will not be meeting on Tuesday evening as they usually do. They will be meeting on Friday evening, and there will be a fire circle and more. I think it's that Christine's got 7 in there. I'm not sure if it's 6 or 7, but check with Matt Purinton and check Heart Thoughts when it comes out on Wednesday for the exact time. A book swap. I'm very excited about this. I've been thinking about what books I'm going to put in it. Book swap will happen at the church next Saturday from 10 to 11:30, weather permitting. If we are unable to do it on Saturday, we will move it to Sunday afternoon, and I'll put it in Hot Thoughts, say at 2 o'clock or something like that. Also, reminder that morning meditation happens every morning with Elizabeth at 6:30 a.m. Midday Faith Lift with Barbara Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:10. So those are the things that are happening. Always check Heart Thoughts in our website as things change all the time. A couple of things that I do want to say is many of you know CDC is making some changes, and we're abreast of those. The board will be meeting on the 25th to look at what those changes mean for us. What I want to ask is if people are willing to step into a volunteer position as we look at opening. It's going to be important that we find out who is willing to step into Sunday morning volunteer places. So if you're interested in being a volunteer on Sunday mornings when we reopen, please send me an email or text me. Many of you have both of those forms of communication with me, because we are going to be needing to look at putting a structure back in place that has been dismantled now for over 15 months. And we still don't have a date, but we're working on it. And we will have more information after we have our board meeting on the 25th. So that's what I would like to share. And now I'm going to bring Barbara back as she closes us with our offering.
Thank you, Pat. I invite us all to just take a moment to really savor the richness of the experience we have had this morning, and how Sunday after Sunday, during this time of uncertainty and challenge, Pat has brought us deepening and expanding messages to provide the spiritual nourishment that supports us as we go through this challenging time. And aside from the services, all through the pandemic, there have been other ways for us to get together virtually and experience each other and support each other. And so let's just take a moment to be grateful for that. Really grateful for how we have navigated this time and how blessed we are to have our community. So that gratitude has been expressed also during this time with constant financial support from each one of our community. And so we want to celebrate that flow and keep it going, understanding that giving and receiving are the same, and it is necessary to stay in the flow. And so thank you, each one of you that has supported our community in its many expressions of service. And so let us just hold that gratitude in our hearts and affirm for ourselves that we are all in the flow and can continue supporting our community as we are supported by the flow of good in our lives. So let's say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me and in each of us, for the joy of giving.
Thank you, Barbara. That was beautiful. And yes, we are so grateful for your generosity. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Dina as she closes us with the peace song.
each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yes, and please join me as we close with a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swell. Have a blessed week, my dears, and namaste, and thank you for being with us today.